Hi, this is Mason.
We have sort of a problem here.
And you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins Presents.
You apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports.
Transfer Portal Syracuse.
You see, we're putting the cover sheets on all TPS reports now before they go out.
With Brian Higgins and Jordan Capozzi.
Did you see the memo about this?
Capozzi.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
Capozzi.
And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo.
Capozzi.
We need to talk about your TPS reports.
With this week's TPS Report.
If you could go ahead and try to remember to do that from now on, that'd be great.
Here's Brian and Jordan.
All right.
Yo, Wednesday night after a 2+ week reprieve of us here. We had the last show just prior to Christmas, where we raised officially, I believe the actual number of money we raised, Jordan, is 1 crap ton. We raised 1 crap ton of money is the official total of money we raised. But Jordan is here. It's Transfer Portal Syracuse, TPS Report. It's a Wednesday night. What's up, Devin? What's up, Kev? What's up, Bowling Ball? All 3 of you guys lit up in green, which means you are members of the channel. If you all would like to join those 3 in that, click that $ right next to the chat box, and you can do that as well. Jordan, what's up, my man?
Why do I feel like more people would be members if it wasn't a $? That's kind of aggressive.
It's really aggressive. Like, it's not subtle even a little bit. Like, you click the $, and what happens then? Oh, then you give us money. Does something else happen? No. Your name turns green, like money.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll figure out cool stuff to give you guys. Like, I've given you early access to some things, so there's that. We're working it up. How about we do this? Speaking of $, we can put the official wraps on our fundraiser for the CNY Food Bank. Jordan, I'm going to pop the final number on the screen right now. Kaboom! 2620 with the full matching funds from our friends at Wild Birds on Unlimited. Just absolutely fantastic. Thanks to Matt and all the folks there, and all of you out there who donated. Just really cool, Jordan. I know you know a lot about that organization. Really cool what we were really able to do by quite literally pulling this idea out of our ass at the last minute. So I feel pretty good considering the absolutely limited planning that went into this, and I think it was pretty successful.
Yeah, and it all really does matter. Like talking with Lynn, who's the Chief Development Officer, I believe is her title, but she's, that do-it-all person. All of it helps, and like anytime there's some sort of change, whether it's to like local, federal, any sort of government, it really impacts them. So just being able to have funding from you and I and everybody watching who we appreciate, it's big time. And I've gone in there and volunteered. You're always welcome to do so. They can use it. Mm-hmm. And like they're putting in work. There's so much food in there that's getting distributed to people who need it. So we thank you. And we're glad that we could, be productive after about 3 months of these shows now.
Yeah, I feel like we're now actually doing something useful instead of just sitting here in the basement and yammering on a Wednesday night. $2,620. So thank you all for that. And to Kevin's point, a happy birthday to our guy Jordan. He is now he's begun the countdown. 364 days from now, it officially goes to hell for Jordan. This is his last year, starting with a 2. Hang in there, man. Hang in there. You won't start falling apart in a crippling way. That won't happen at all. That doesn't happen until years later. So you're good. You're good for a while.
I might turn 30 sooner if Syracuse men's basketball keeps playing games like last night. I sent out a little funny tweet. It was tongue in cheek, but it was far too real. And it was, I believe, 8:38 left in the game, 14-point lead. And I just tweeted out, does this feel safe, or are you still a little worried? And
yeah,
you're enough. Worry.
What did I send? I sent out slightly after you sent that. I think where did I? Let's scroll down. I think I sent it out at maybe the. Well, actually, I don't even think we were at the under 4 yet. There was probably about 5 minutes left in the game. We were just about hitting 9 o'clock. I'm like, the fact this game isn't over yet. And like literally and figuratively, the game took freaking forever. That was a 2.5-hour basketball game, but you're up by 20 And we can start with hoops tonight because, the point I made, and we talked a lot about this on the post-game show last night. Like, on one hand, Syracuse just went on the road yesterday and won a road league game by 10. Good. Like, really good. Like, you'd never say, wow, road league win by 10. That's bad. And yet, because of all the other stuff, it's just like, oh my goodness, it was a really weird vibe post game for a 10-point road league win.
Yeah, you summed it up well, where you said that it's because of the big picture. I thought that was a really good, the big picture rules is because of what we've seen. I thought that was a really good way to put it into words, because you're going to have some people saying that they won by 10 on the road. What do you want them to do? But that's why you watch the game, right? And here's how I've decided to sum it up. I watched some other people's opinions on it, and I kind of came up with my summation. It was still a good win.
Mm-hmm.
What it was not was impressive. It was impressive until they almost blew it.
Right.
And I'm well aware that Georgia Tech was shorthanded, and that was even before their big man, known to be a problem for Syracuse as long as I've been paying attention closely.
Mm-hmm.
Big men. Not only the injury, but is it Dongo?
Dongo.
I feel like that's how you say it, but my brain won't allow that to be the correct pronunciation. Even though he was dealing with issues, I still would have called it impressive. And then everything they were doing well, for one reason or another, just disappeared, right? I mean, the speed with which they were playing with offensively, it was really working. And I don't know whether Georgia Tech figured it out. I don't know whether it was the natural tendency to try to slow down a little bit once you have that big lead, but like everything they were doing well just disappeared. And that win went from impressive to it was a good win.
Yeah,
with that exact voice inflection, by the way, it was a good win.
Yeah, you gotta go octave up, I think, a little bit on the game last night, because you're right. They're up 20 with 15 minutes left, and it's whatever. And then you can tell like the foot's off the gas, the air's out of the balloon a little, and you look at the clock. There's 14 minutes left in the game. Like there's plenty of time to screw this up, and that's my main takeaway. Unfortunately, that is now the way most Syracuse fans think. That did not used to be the way most Syracuse fans specialize in being tortured, I think. But like even in the past, it was like, all right, some of the Boeheim games, you had a lead, it dwindled down, whatever. He was just getting it to the end, it's done. You're like, okay, fine. And you just don't think about it because the other crap's not swirling around. And now you have it where I feel, a lot of it's the bed you made, but I feel bad for Red in this scenario. Like, this is the conversation happening after a 10-point road win. Like, in theory, that's good. And this has to be the start here. Like, this has to be the start of a 4, 5, 6 game winning streak to legitimately, it feels like, put them in a position to have a chance to change the narrative around things.
Yeah, I mean, they have to win all the games leading up to Virginia Tech, right? And then if you do that, it's like play them decent and you're fine. But again, it's the same way I felt about how they played against Monmouth and that kind of erased the Tennessee game. It's like how they played the end of that Georgia Tech game erased all the goodwill. It was good to see Donnie. He's good. Right to business. Career high. He can shoot, which is nice. Go figure. The guy who can shoot free throws also is looking like the most consistent three-point shooter. I don't know what it's going to take to get that team to play a full 40 minutes. And as mentioned in the chat and as mentioned for a while, there's just something up with the subs. Again, Kyan was having a really good night, and it felt like he earn some more minutes near the end, and we are starting to see something you weren't seeing against the worst teams, or at least earlier, which is there are times where JJ is just kind of he's not doing the things that he does well, and he's out there and he just doesn't look good. So I'm not ready to do the whole Kyan starting thing, but no. I don't think it's has to be a foregone conclusion that JJ plays all of the minutes at the end if Kyan's playing well. Look, he's been around good competition. He's been around basketball long enough to where I don't think you have to treat him like a freshman.
Well, I look at there were two plays late-ish in the game. I don't know how much time was left. It was within the last 4 minutes, I think. And JJ had two, not easy, but like two drives to the basket that are his style of play. And he got decent, makeable looks. Now, I don't want to say easy, but they were makeable looks at the rim, and neither went in. And like if he's not giving you that, then someone else should probably because that didn't turn the tide, but that really opened the door. I think Georgia Tech, like after he missed those two, all of a sudden you're like, what's it's a 4-point game or 5-point game? What just happened? Where if either of them goes in, the momentum's done and the game is essentially over because you run out of possessions, you run out of time. Now I'm saying, should that be Kyan? I don't know. I might have put Kyan in a little bit earlier just to give him something. Now Kyan did, he didn't really sense it. He did play 7 minutes after halftime and did not score, but it's one where this is 2 games in a row now for JJ, and it's both of the conference games, right, Jordan, where it's 4 points, it's 8 points, and they're both close games. And I'll forgive you if you're a veteran and you don't play great for a whole game, but if you're there at closing time, great. And he's not been there at closing time in either of the games to start ACC play.
Yeah, and the problem that led to is Nate George can create and he can facilitate. Unfortunately, this isn't like the year that Tyler Ennis was out there and he had like a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and he was a sure-handed guy. Like, we're finding out that Nate George is going to turn the ball over, and I didn't look a lot at what he did at Georgia Tech. I guess he wasn't great with it there either, and they're playing faster now. What that led to, as a Nate Kings defender, my screen just went black, Brian.
That was dramatic. You froze mid sentence. Like, yeah, I still hear you, Jordan, but yeah, your camera.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah, your camera is frozen. Your audio is not. It was a very dramatic time to freeze too, because the exact moment you froze was like a great place for a dramatic pause. I don't know if you want to.
So I'm going to give my point. I'm going to hop out and in.
Okay.
I'm sorry, everybody. That's a great face.
It's a fantastic
As a Nate
face.
Kings defender, I saw way too much of Nate Kings trying to facilitate the offense last night, and he just wasn't able to do it, especially not at the speed those other guys are. And I think that's a lot of what led to the lull, is that you had Nate Kings trying to be the main guy, and it just didn't work. He should be doing his work off ball. All right, feel free to respond. I'll hopefully be back in a second.
I mean, this is hilarious what happened, how Jordan froze. And there he goes. But cheers to we'll raise some nog to Jordan. This is probably the last day for nog. There, hey, Jordan's back and he's unfrozen. I don't know, like you're moving again. I'd say the moment you froze was kind of an epic way to be. Do I need to unmute you? Yeah. Like it was an epic pick. I'm like, maybe we should leave him like that the rest of the show, right?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're here.
All right. Did you finish talking about how that was an incredibly profound point and, everybody's lucky I'm here?
Yes. I just toasted you with some nog and we moved on with it. But, one way or the other.
I'll kind of do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Jordan's got the moose mug back. Outstanding. Outstanding. And yes, Jordan does have a Patriots hat because his team is in the playoffs. My team is either about to hire John Harbaugh and fix the franchise, or continue to ruin things for the rest of time. And it's there's really only two options here for the next few days. I don't know. So that
was great. Bowling ball should meme me. I appreciated that.
That's the face you have when you see Red take Donnie out of the game for no reason.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, because all right, Donnie played 34 minutes, and this is where, honestly, everyone on earth has problems with Red. We know that. The one thing that I have mentioned about Red, and this has been literally the entire time, I literally take this back to Red's first exhibition game, because I know I talked about it after his first exhibition game. Because in Red's first exhibition game, if we go back in the time machine, remember, like, Judah Mintz was randomly hurt and everyone panicked for like a minute. Like, oh my God, Judah's hurt. Like, what's going on? And it turned out it was like he had first exhibition. Yeah, like he had a lightly rolled ankle or something. Whoa. But in Red's first game, because Judah Mintz was out, exhibition game, didn't mean anything. He kind of got lost in it. J.J. Starling played 40 minutes. in an exhibition game. That should never happen for any reasons. And it should have been, and it was, and it has played out, that Red needs help in that regard. Jim Boeheim, and I feel terrible because it all comes back to Jim, right? Jim Boeheim did not need help in that regard. Jim Boeheim was very good at, obviously he had a short rotation generally, so there wasn't a lot of, permutations to deal with, but he had, he knew when to make moves like that. Red seems to, he'll get lost in the game and forget about the guys on the bench, which, okay, that's not great. It's got to be somebody's job to be like, yo, dude, this guy's got to be in the game. Be it Donnie, be it, oh, maybe Donnie needs a breather. This is the time for Sadiq. Be it what we were talking about before. Hey, if you want to have JJ in late, Cayenne's not going to play at all unless you make the change now. I would like to see them to have a more, I don't know what the right word is. Like the NBA has, they have a million game season, but like regular season NBA games, the first 3 quarters at least, have very almost formal rotations. Like they do give or take the same thing every game. I understand why you don't totally do that in college. I wouldn't mind, Jordan, if that's what they did, because if you did that for 20 some odd minutes, now you're at least going to get the guys in that you want, and then you can, figure it out by the night, and you don't get stuck in these situations. You're like, oh, oops, Sadiq played 8 minutes. Now, some people said he had a back brace on or something. I don't know what the deal is on that. Maybe he was banged up, but I think Gret almost needs a more formal subbing pattern for the first half to make sure they're okay going forward into the second half.
I want to agree with you, but in the same respect, I think one of the issues we've seen with Red is he doesn't let the hot hand keep cooking. Yeah. So I'm not sure in some respects, I agree with what you're saying. In others, like how many games have we already seen where JJ scores, 3 buckets in 4 minutes and then he's out, or Cayenne's got the hot hand and he's out. So I think there's a balance to it. I mean, I think ultimately what it does come down to is we've seen the difference Donnie makes, and Red knows that. I mean, he knows the season's on the line in these games. He knows his job's probably on the line to an extent. And he knows that Donnie wants to go out there, put up big numbers, prove himself. He's already missed time. So I don't want to see him overuse Donnie, because I think we'll see some more of what we saw at the end of last night's game, like that inbound debacle. Like, these guys need to be locked in and focused every minute they're on the court. They don't play a style that allows them to take possessions off, or else it spirals. And if you're tired, it's going to happen. So I don't know. I'd have to mull over what you said, because
I think it's probably a combination, right? It's because I also agree with what you're saying, right? Because sometimes the hot hand doesn't get to cook. Where Red has struggled, I guess, is deciding which one is the right thing for that day. Because yeah, you got to make sure the guys get in, but like you also got to know that, and we know Jim Boeheim didn't easily play the guys 80 minutes a game. They're college kids, they're fine. Like this ain't that, and Red has said it's not that. But then the actions and the words aren't always going along with each other. Like you look at last night, Nate King's 37 minutes, Donnie 34, Nate George 34. That's not ridiculous in a bottle, right? But it just doesn't jibe with what Red said he wants to do. So the words and the actions aren't always meeting up. All right, we have
part of it too. Before we bring Govendo in, I just spoiled it.
You did,
but part of it we saw, unless I missed it, I believe we saw 0 combined minutes from Zephyr and Fennel. Right? We didn't see a minute,
which is fine. I'm fine with that.
Which is fine, but now, I mean, you have Cayenne, you have the Nates, you have JJ. You got to split it up somehow. Somebody's going to be playing a lot of minutes. It would be wonderful if like Zephyr or Fennel could find a way to play like, a combined 5 minutes in these games just to get guys a little breather. But I don't know if they can afford that.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's all right. Cayenne played 18 minutes and Sadiq played 8. Give each of those guys 3 more minutes, and I think that's your minutes. Like I don't want those minutes. I don't want those minutes going to Zephyr and Fennel. I want those minutes.
Do you want 3 away from Donnie though?
Well, I'd say you've got the right 9 guys in the rotation. I just think sometimes you need to allocate the minutes a little differently for the point you're making. That sometimes you want to make sure guys are fresh at the end of the game, or allocate it the other way to make sure that the guys, like if they're cooking, leave them in and cook. Right now let's go to we're gonna go to. a shadowy netherworld. I think Gavendo. Like where are you, Gavendo? Are you're hidden in like the Bat Cave or something? What's up, man? It would help if I unmuted you. There
Jordan
you
can
go.
help me with that.
Okay, what's up, man? I had you on mute. Now you're good.
I didn't pay my National Grid bill. I was hoping Jordan could help me. Can you turn it back on?
Are you at the office or is this your home?
Are you are you on a roof? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm on a balcony in Florida.
Oh,
Florida.
okay, that's right. Yeah, you did say you were in Florida yesterday, didn't you? And you were. Yeah.
Sorry about the no light, so hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you
Yeah,
loud and
no.
clear.
Hold on. This
don't-
prompts explanation. Where are the lights?
He's gone outside in the dark. He is opting against light. This is an artistic choice, I think, from Gavendo on his Floridian balcony.
You can't see me that well. I'm sorry.
No, you're a mysterious shadow figure. There's not a lot of difference between this and the mysterious picture we use if somebody's camera's not working.
Oh man.
Why are we burying Sadiq and Kyan on the bench so much in the second half? I mean, Kings wasn't playing that great. JJ wasn't playing that great. Why do they get such a long leash, and why can't we have a couple minutes of the other guys? You know what I mean?
I think it's I mean specifically with those two guys, I think it's two different answers, right? Like if to play Sadiq last night, like I think they wanted to go with Freeman and Kyle, which kind of eliminates Sadiq in the second half. And Donnie was playing so well, though I really like the portions of the game, right, where Donnie was at the 5, which I think would get Sadiq on the floor. I think that's his main route to playing. The Cayenne one, I don't know. I would have gotten him
At least 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I'd say at least 3 more in the second half. At some point, I would have gone to him maybe the mid portion of the second half when it's starting to slip, just to change it up a little bit. I don't know. I'd like to see I'd like to see Cayenne. I mean, played 18. I mean, if you tell me that's 23, I feel okay about it.
Are we a
Can
tournament
you-
team again?
I'm not ready.
Not
to get into
today.
that yet.
I don't think so either. We're not playing like it. We're not.
Can
playing
you
like
survive, to your point, Gavendo, and to your point, Brian? Is there any possible way you can survive with Sadiq, Donnie, and Kyle or Soiree on there? I mean, like, Donnie can shoot. Sadiq is mobile enough. Like, they can both handle the ball a little bit. I know it could be a bit clunky, but can you survive with that, do you think, for a stretch? Is it worth experimenting with, or is it just like, don't even bother?
I mean, Soiree, he's like I don't know what to think of him yet. You know what I mean? I don't think I've seen enough of him. I mean, he gives you a bucket. He hustles a little bit, plays some defense, but like, you got to be productive on the stat sheet if you want to actually have minutes. You know what I mean? So is he
So
just
wide
hanging out?
open. He didn't know what to do on that one play.
What's he taken 4 shots this year, and they've all been very memorable in their own way. Like
The air ball.
He's airballing threes. He's got crazy dunks. He's falling on his ass. Like you remember everything that the dude's done when he's been on the court this year.
Well, I think we have a good chance of getting it together in the next 2 weeks with the level of games that we have, and we really got to turn it on. Like, we got all our players back. There's no excuses anymore, right? Now's the time to buckle in, get our wins, and start beating teams. I mean, we're gonna have to knock off UNC at least once and play Duke pretty competitive, which is going to be a really tough challenge at Cameron.
Yeah, Duke's really good. They were down double digits at the Yum Center last night in the first half and won by double digits against Louisville, who's probably the second best team in the league. That was a scary second half performance by them. But yeah, I mean, realistically, you got to start winning games right now. You got Pitt next. Pitt isn't good this year. You got to beat them. You're at BC. After that, you're home for BC. No, that's Florida State, then BC. Like, those are games you got to win. Like, if you're going to put yourself in the mix, you're going to have to go on a winning streak here. And Syracuse has not shown capable of that in several years, so we shall see. Gavendo making us jealous now with the Floridian nightlife there. It does look lovely.
It's beautiful. And it's beautiful. Jordan, happy birthday, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys. Have a good night. Have a
Thanks,
good
Matty.
show.
Enjoy
Talk to you
your
soon.
dark balcony. We'll let you
I,
get.
I played golf today and I'm ready for bed.
Okay.
I don't know what that tells you.
Yeah, we're all old now. We're all older. There he goes.
See you guys.
See Gavendo. There he is. Gavendo back to the balcony. Matt is taking advantage of the link pinned top of the chat to join the show, which all of you can do. We can get a few more basketball thoughts. George with a football question there flying past. We'll get back to that in a second, George, because that did raise an eyebrow earlier today, yesterday, whenever it was that came flying through. But this Jordan, I don't know if you have any more thoughts on basketball here. Pitt next. Pitt is, I don't know what their deal is other than they also lost to Hofstra. That is a confused looking nog face there. Then you've got Florida State after that, who's under 500 right now, and BC's crap. If you're Syracuse and you have any designs on making the tournament, right, you have to win these 3 games. I don't see any way around it.
Yeah, and I mean, based on what we know they're going to do, I mean, someone said earlier they need a 7-game win streak. Like, I don't hate it. I mean, look, Virginia Tech,
Virginia Tech and Miami would be the back 2 of those. They're both solid.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, Virginia Tech, like, that's also not a team. That's not a team that you lose to and you're like, oh, that's okay. They're still good enough to play in the tournament. You lost it. That's kind of a measuring stick game where it's like, all right, if you can handle Virginia Tech and Miami back to back,
both in the dome.
To answer Gavendo's question, yeah, that's when people start thinking, okay, hold on, like they could maybe win a game in the tournament, which means they could be a tournament team. I'm not saying either of those 2 teams are like locks to make noise or anything. I'm just saying you can't just be like, okay, we beat Georgia Tech and we beat BC and we beat Florida State and we beat Pitt. All of those teams have horrendous losses this season to teams that won't even get invited to the NIT.
Right.
You can't just win those and be like, oh, they won a few games. So we'll see if they take care of business, but it's going to be a Jokic, job's not finished or no, that's Kobe. Jokic was the job.
He's the opposite. Jokic is home. He's chilling. The job is done.
So,
we can go home.
But you know what I'm saying, right? You got to take care of business, but the real test is, I almost think you have to win one of those 2 games at least against Virginia Tech or Miami.
Absolutely.
That's where you start thinking, like, okay, this team is good.
Because, like, realistically, Miami and Virginia Tech, and now we're a few weeks out here, they're both in the same bucket as Syracuse. Like, they need to win. Those are going to be big, like, bubble-ish back end for somebody. Like, those are going to be big games, or it's just going to be a mess of teams that almost the tournament. But, like, if you want to be on the other side of it, you got to go win those games. All right, any more hoops thoughts, Jordan, or should we turn the page to portaling season and whatnot?
I think we should. I'm going to make an audible here. Can I just quickly, how about I do my nog review now?
You look absolutely disgusted by what's happening.
Yeah, Brian, I could give you a million guesses what this is, but here's what happened, okay? If you're new, appreciate you tuning in. I review an eggnog, a different one, every show.
Is this going to be your last nog review? I mean, the end of the season, your supply is running low.
Well, Brian, my supply is low, as a matter of fact. I did not go get a new nog, so today, this is how much I love you.
Oh boy!
Today we're sampling. This is Land O'Lakes heavy whipping cream.
What? You're just drinking cream?
Like I'm not enjoying it, Brian, but I had to get something for the pod. We're having some Land. This is a small cup. We're having some Land O'Lakes heavy whipping cream.
Oh man!
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 rating.
I
which
feel
is
bad.
Better than it should be.
It's being judged on the nog shell. It's just totally unfair to whipped cream.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna vomit or anything. It's not great, but it'll pass. This is the easiest comp we've had. This is Soiree. Look, it's big and thick. You don't necessarily want him out there, but he gets the job done as long as he doesn't try to shoot corner threes. So I'm just gonna make it through this and rinse it down with water.
Like you're just chugging whipping cream now. I think I have a more intriguing comp for you that's not from this year's Syracuse team. Because there's nothing wrong with heavy whipping cream, except that you have it playing terribly out of position. This is Justin Taylor a couple of years ago who ended up being a power forward. Like that, I think that's what it was. This was a liquid playing totally out of position. Like if you had whipped that up and just had a bowl of whipped cream, you would have enjoyed yourself thoroughly. Instead, you just slugged it, bringing our our nog reviews to an end for the to the year. Man,
I might find some more. I mean, we haven't had
Maybe.
a Donnie Freeman comp yet. I just forgot to go get some. I still have that Southern Comfort, by the way.
Well, yeah,
not a fan of it.
No, you like that less than just slugging heavy whipping cream.
They're on par. I gave the other one a better rating, but like look, that Southern Comfort is closer to heavy whipping cream than it is the whatever the best one was, the Burn Dairy.
Yeah, I'll say this: like if you decided to take the heavy whipping cream and do other things with it, you could have succeeded. The Southern Comfort Nog was not going to find success in any realm. Like you weren't going to turn that into anything useful. Though that
All right,
is,
do we want to start Portal or outside? Because I watched some. Yeah, I'm basically like that guy in the commercial who ate the stick of butter. It's really pathetic, but
Yeah.
I do it for you guys.
You're just,
It looked like Nog. It looked like
it
Nog.
did. I was not prepared for that to not be Nog. Let's start with I'm intrigued by George's question because this caught my eye earlier today. Our guy George in Memphis. When they announced, whenever that was a month or two ago, that the ACC was going to, you had to play the 9 games and get the 1 Power 5, and then Syracuse obviously has Notre Dame on the schedule. So I knew they were going to have to alter their schedule somewhat this year, and the only way they could have altered it and kept 7 home games would have been to ditch UConn. We found out today vis-a-vis Toledo, somehow Syracuse and Toledo are tied at the hip. Obviously Vince Carras is now the DC. Toledo's off the schedule for next year, and now Syracuse only has 6 home games, and this is a year after, the Tennessee game ends up being off-site, and you only had 6 home games. So back-to-back years, 6 home games, season ticket prices going up after a 3-win season. Yeah, like not a huge fan of that, and on top of it, like that makes Fran's job harder because he only got 6 home games, and going to UConn, well, that should be a win. Jim Moore is gone and whatnot, but it's certainly harder than hosting Toledo when you took their defensive coordinator. Like you feel bad for the guys that you lose a home game for that.
I don't know how it happened, so this could be a dumb question, but I can be dumb. Like, if Vince Carras isn't the defensive coordinator, are they still playing that game?
That's I do not know the answer to the question, but that is absolutely a question to ask. 100% that's a question to ask. My guess is realistically there is so much logistical crap on dates and weekends and whatnot that is not the reason, but it's a great conspiracy. My best guess is that whatever dates the ACC is kicking around to fit all these games in, that whatever dates UConn and Toledo and Syracuse, this was probably the only way to juggle it and make it happen. But it just feels like whenever the ACC goes out and schedules some crap, the spill down on Syracuse always seems to work out worse than it does for other people. Like, look at, okay, the conference is larger. Hey, which basketball team should we send to Florida twice, Texas once, and California to play both teams in the first year? How about Syracuse? Anybody else? No, just Syracuse is good. And now, all right, first year of this. Well, who's gonna get 6 home, or who's gonna get the 4 home games, and who's gonna get 3 road games? Well, Syracuse doesn't need home games. I mean, I get Notre Dame's coming in next year, but yeah, it's going to be another tricky schedule. It's going to be another tricky schedule. You're going to have, it's still a decent home schedule, right? Like, I think, is Clemson in the Dome next year? Is SMU in the Dome next year? I mean, Notre Dame's definitely in the Dome.
I haven't brushed up on my football schedule yet, Brian.
Yeah, they've changed the future ACC opponents so often, 2026 ACC football opponents, that, like, anything you thought you knew at some point is now wrong. Here are the ACC Dome games next year are Clemson, Clemson, SMU, like Kevin Jennings is still there, right? Like SMU will be good. Louisville, they've won a lot of games recently under Jeff Brom. Didn't they just pull a quarterback out of the portal the other day? And Cal. So that Cal, who just switched coaches, that'll be, in theory, the easiest. Plus, part of the ACC whatever agreement, Notre Dame's in the Dome next year. So it's actually, unlike this past year, it is, despite being a small dome slate, it's an attractive dome slate, but it's a really, really tough dome slate when you're I mean, anything looks tough when you're coming off 3 wins. But, yeah, you only got 6 home games, and, 4 of them are Clemson, SMU, Louisville, and Notre Dame. It's going to be hard to win these home games next year. And depending on the order they land, like, who knows when your starting quarterback's going to be, I don't want to say 100%, but, really back into it. Like, I know he beat Clemson last year, but what if that game's in mid-September like it has been in the past, and Angeli's not quite right yet, and you got him at home and you lose? I don't know. That's to lose a home game early, which is where Toledo would have been. That's a tough thing to have disappear from your schedule.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, like, what is Clemson going to look like year over year? Because I think maybe the Dabo doesn't use the portal and isn't going to work thing could be a little overblown. But I mean, we saw last season, like, they're not the Clemson. At least they didn't play like it. They can recover, but I wonder what they look like year over year. Notre Dame, you can just kind of sit back and have fun. SMU, they're going to be good, and Jennings is only going to be better. Cal, I don't know, but I mean, Fran always talks about winning championships, right? If you even want to pretend we're talking about playoff, like, you can only,
you might see some playoff teams.
You can only lose like one of those if you even want to think about it, and then win everything else. So they're going to have to play the really easy schedule game. And unfortunately, they lucked out with that in Fran's first year, and they just couldn't deliver. So it's going to be a schedule thing.
Yeah, and it's a tough one next year. And it also stinks, financially. 2 years in a row to only have 6 home games instead of 7, that's like when you talk about in the NIL and they need a crap ton of money and all the stuff going on right now, to only have 6 home games 2 years in a row, now I think they got the financial side, they did get paid to be in the kickoff thing with Tennessee last year, but now you ain't getting paid for this, and they probably actually had to pay to buy Toledo out of the game. I saw there was some clause about paying them $1 million to get out of it. Now, who knows? My guess is realistically that instead of just writing them a check, that game's probably kicked down the line a few years. That's usually how those things go. But I don't know. I don't feel great about having only 6. Especially as we get into the portal here. This is day, what are we on? Day 6 of the portal being open. Not a lot, not like the portal's gone haywire in the rest of the country. Like, it's going bonkers. And like the big news of today was some wide receiver from Miami of Ohio,
Cole Weaver,
and
6'5".
And what did I just see before the show started? Mike McAllister, who will be on with me live in the 315 tomorrow. Big breaking news from Mike right before the show started. Umari Hatcher, Jordan, I don't know if you saw this, has removed his name from the transfer portal. Pop your nog. Just like, I mean, I thought there'd be there'd be a little more juice to
that's bad
this
dude.
week.
If the wide receiver room is looking as such that Umari Hatcher is like, I'm gonna plant it here.
Yeah. And Fran's like, sure, come on back. Because Fran is, as we know, Fran is not a sure come on back guy. And they're like, yeah, Umari Hatcher, who I had forgotten existed. Like it was hurt or I don't know what last year. I don't know. I'm going to ask Mike this when we have him on the show tomorrow, when we'll be live in the 315, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Second episode of the new program. Subscribe, like, all the things, notifications on, and you'll know when it happens. Right in the middle of your workday. We'll distract you at work. We can handle that. The first thing, like, we'll break it down. We'll talk about this Weaver guy. We'll talk about Juwan Johnson. We'll talk about the tight end from South Carolina.
We'll talk about Jackson State running back Ahmad Miller, who has committed to Syracuse per Mike McAllister. 2 running backs.
Man.
Or is it? That's a tease.
Oh, Ahmad Miller. My guess is Ahmad Miller probably ran for a lot of yards. This is about 1,000-yard back. All right, we like that. 6.3 yards a carry at Jackson State. Okay. We like that. 163 carries, 1,035 yards, 6.3 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns this year for Ahmad Miller at Jackson State, where Coach Prime used to coach. What was his big game last year? Let's see. We're going game by game. Ahmad Miller. Oh, he dropped a $165 on FAMU. Where at FAMU? 172 on Hampton. Did they play any power anything schools this year? They played, their biggest school they played was Southern Mississippi, and he went 9 carries for 34 yards and a loss. But yeah, 1,000-yard back. All right. So they're up to 4. I don't know. I thought there'd be a little more juice to the portal because I thought it was going to, like, classes start Monday. And I don't mean like a future Monday. Like, today is Wednesday. The next time there is a Monday is the first day of the semester. I think your last day to officially register, I believe, for classes is a week or 2 weeks from yesterday, the 20th, the day after MLK Day. So, like, there's not a... I realize the academic side of thing gets lost in the sauce with the portal and NIL and all that. But if you want to transfer here and participate in spring football, you have to be enrolled in classes to do so. Like, there is a pretty hard and fast deadline for that, which is the main reason I thought we were going to have seen some more stuff by now.
Yeah, and I mean, McAllister as the portal tracker, you look at all the QBs I see on there who are visiting, and I mean, look, it's how you get talent nowadays, but all of them are from schools where if somebody placed a bet on them, you would accuse them of needing the gambling hotline. Like, it's just underwhelming. They're offering Cody Hornsby, big offer, Cody Hornsby. You saw that?
Yes.
Yeah. So a big time, right? Get Cody Hornsby again. Yeah, I mean, I'm very underwhelmed, and maybe we were spoiled with McCord and Diggs and, you know, even guys like David Reese, who, I mean, it's a bigger-ish, I guess, school, but that's kind of my takeaway so far from the portal is you got to do what you got to do, right? But I'm getting to the point where I'm not buying into this guy has potential. Like Michael Smith, South Carolina, he dealt with injuries, right? He was a 4-star recruit, right?
He exists.
Any highlight video you can find of the guy online, it's a minute max.
And that's with like padding at both ends of him walking around.
Yeah, literally. Juwan Johnson, like, he was buried on the depth chart at LSU. The most information you're getting is from podcasts. I kind of wonder this, Brian. He was a great quarterback. He was practicing individual practice at LSU as quarterback, and then he'd switch over to halfback for team drills.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where he fits in. Like, is there a chance friends like, hey, I know you're a quarterback. Look, we don't have a backup right now. Like, if you're good enough, you'll get a chance. Like, he's a guy you want to use him wherever you can. By all accounts, he's explosive, and it seems like a lot of LSU fans were upset that he left. There just wasn't room. It's just a lot of mystery guys. Then you got, Cole Weaver, who watched a little bit of him, 6'5" guy. He can make catches in traffic, good catch radius, as you'd expect with a guy that size. He's not a burner, but you need that guy to make the contested catches. But Miami of Ohio, like, his best games were against Western Michigan, so on and so forth. So I'm not impressed. And maybe I need to give it a chance, but they're not selling me with this anymore.
I say I like your crazy Juwan Johnson theory. I don't think it will actually happen, but it's a great theory.
Just wait.
My question now, and I texted you this earlier, who would you rather have playing quarterback? LSU's third-string running back or a Syracuse long pole midfielder? Because those are like, what are we doing? That's actually why, Jordan, you were poo-pooing a little bit the other quarterbacks they're looking at, which are all lower-level guys. I actually like that idea because all of those guys have actually played quarterback.
I like it too. I'm just saying, like,
that's
this
the main thing.
This is not what we've seen. We're not, the guy from Notre Dame is not coming in, and no, there's no starting role. So, like, Ohio State, no A&Ms, no, nothing.
No, like, where I'd like to see that, and I don't know what funds they have available in NIL. I think, okay, like, realistically, like, this season in many ways will ride on Angeli's health. And a backup, like having a good backup really the goal would be, all right, say Angeli remains hurt or gets hurt, is just to stop it from becoming a epic grease fire again, which I think one of these lower level guys can do just because they've legit have experience. Can you go find somebody to be Fadil Diggs on defense this year? Or was that, man, we lucked into Fadil Diggs, who was a captain at Texas A&M from Jersey, tied with Elijah Robinson. Was that a once in a lifetime? Because, man, you look back at 2 years ago on defense, especially when Marlowe got hurt, Fadil was the answer to almost, they're like, we need to spy the quarterback this week. Yeah, take our rushing defensive end and we'll put him in a QB spy. Oh, we need to stop the run game. Yeah, Fadil will do it. All right, well, Marlowe's back. Let's get after the quarterback. Fadil's like, all right, got you, coach. They did not have anything resembling that this year. And the portal's been bananas. Like, Syracuse has been quiet. Like, last night, Lane Kiffin's, like, stealing quarterbacks from Washington while he's sitting next to Arizona State's quarterback at a basketball game. Give or take a minute or two, which is a main reason why Juwan Johnson wasn't about to play quarterback for LSU. And I'm not saying Syracuse was going to go rip away a QB who just signed a multi-million-dollar NIL deal somewhere else, but
now he's getting sued, by the way. That's fun.
Yeah, like 30 guys are out the door, 29 now, or whatever it is, with Amari Hatcher back in. And some people look at the number right and panic. Oh, my God, 30 guys. I don't panic by the total number. 3 starters left. 3. And Yasin Willis just went to Kansas. Like, I'm not worried about that. But you need something, right? You need people. And, like, where are they? Where are the people?
Well, yeah, and Diggs comes from where Elijah Robinson was.
Yeah.
That's not happening. I think there were some Toledo guys on defense who fans were kind of hoping
their main guy just went to Rutgers. Like the DN that everyone thought would just, oh, yeah, well, he's coming to Syracuse. The next thing I saw word of him, he was at Rutgers, and it was done.
Multiple Toledo guys are not choosing Syracuse. So I'm not sure they were banking on it. Was this like an Engelstead-LeFew situation, and they were hoping to get some players with him? I don't know.
That?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Those things didn't tie in at all.
I forgot that Dakota LeFew existed as a human. Oh, man. Is he still in school?
I don't know, dude. But, yeah, I'm concerned that, look, the defense was not good, and they're just not really adding to it. I know they're adding to it in terms of coaching, which I like, but can one defensive player sign, please? Yeah. I'm glad they've got running backs. They need them. I'm glad they got a receiver. They need one. They do need a tight end.
Yeah.
And Michael Smith, just watching him, he figures to be somewhat similar to Villari. Like, he's not going to burn you with speed, but he's a big body. He seems to be able to get open and do something with the ball. But what about the defense, man? Come on.
Yeah, like I look at the defense, and you need somebody up front. You need something. You need somebody that can be a playmaker. And I know those are not easy to come by, and I know the good ones at that spot are really, really expensive. You need something. You don't have it. It does not appear you have that on the roster. I wouldn't mind seeing another linebacker. I think the secondary will be fine. I know some people worried about, these secondary guys that left. They left because, like, the starters are back at a lot of spots in the secondary. Like, the corners were really good last year, and they're only going to get better. Like, that's a position of strength on the team. But, yeah, I thought that based on the portal moving the month that it moved this year, I thought so much stuff was going to happen in the quote-unquote illegal month that, like, day 2 of the portal was just going to be just a raft of people, like, signing because it was all done already. And then, like, we were just sitting there. In other schools, it was happening, and it was not happening at Syracuse, and that I found really strange. Really strange.
I'll give them credit, though, man. Syracuse hunkered down and added a lot of coaches with a lot of legit experience. So
I like that.
I know you need players, but for what they haven't done in the portal yet, I'll give them credit. Like, look, I don't watch every single college football team enough to understand their coaching, but what I will tell you is every guy they're bringing in, you look at the resume and think this is a dude who could go in and help with the X's and O's, which they desperately need. So I'm down with that. I like what Forever Orange Girl said too, which is, how about we bring in some guys with experience? Because that young core is young. Like, you're relying on a lot of sophomores defensively. Can we find some dudes going into their last year who want to take a step up and, maybe a little better payday than they were getting at a smaller school, and, just to add some veteran leadership? I totally agree with that, because they're going to need it.
I was hoping the guy would be the DN from Toledo because that all made a lot of sense in my head. They're a guy that actually could get after the passer at a position of absolute need for Syracuse. Yeah, it is a little worrisome how young this team is. Like, I know people talk about wideouts, but they're going to have plenty. Like, I know everything they lost at wideout, there's plenty of talent there. Now, will they be ready to go right away? I don't know. There's plenty of talent.
What do they have at wideout right now? Like, actually?
I mean, you've got Booby. They had Booby. What's his name?
They got Booby. They got Weaver. Russell.
You got
plays
the kid from.
now.
You got Darian Williams, who I think is a decent player. You got Russell coming in. You got Amari Goff coming in, the other stud freshman, who's Peter Warwick reincarnate. To hear Fran talk, and like I think you got.
Fran likes his freshman, man.
Yeah.
Like he
it's
trusts
a lot to put
him,
on
so.
him though. Like that's a lot to. Like are we going to watch Syracuse count on 2 freshman wide receivers? Like that's. Like if you're stacking all your chips on it, that's a dangerous bet. That's a dangerous bet. But that said, what you said, like, can we get a defender? Can we get a defender? Or is realistically the other point that you said, is it possible that the 2 biggest changes this offseason, because you look at areas where Syracuse has been deficient, like if Vince Karras is that good at coaching them up, and if Juan Castillo turns out to be a significant step up at offensive line, and you just by better coaching can improve those areas, because you're talking about talent or coaching, if Fran likes the talent and you can coach him up, like it's a legitimate way to win football games. Like I'm all for them winning football games that way. It's just it's hard to know what that's going to be because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, a legitimate way to win and not all players, but I think it's a way to keep players too. Like you get guys from big schools who have sent guys to the league. You get guys who have proven they can help a team win, like a Karras who hasn't always had the best talent, but he elevates it.
Right.
Maybe it's a way of player retention too. If you get coaches who those players genuinely believe elevate their game, it could be a long play too. But again, you just do need the players. I think they have a good core on defense. Unfortunately, not only do you need a core and guys around it, but you need, that D word that they struggle with. You need depth.
Yeah. What'd you make of Yasin going to Kansas? That was like, what? Kansas?
I don't know. I mean, they're giving him money. Enrique Cruz went to Kansas and apparently was a very highly rated offensive tackle this season. So I don't know. Is Syracuse a feeder system for Kansas now? A feeder program?
Was
this Kansas's revenge?
Was there
25-ish years later?
A Lawrence Cruz tailgate? It doesn't quite go as well together.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to make of it because, okay, here's what I kind of make of it. I believe a little more that report that they might have told him that
things were happening.
Yeah, you can head out. Because at first I was like, he probably asked for a lot more money. Right. And then they were like, you can go somewhere else. I don't know how much Kansas is paying him. It's probably some more, but that's not a jump where I'm like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Go from Syracuse to Kansas. So maybe they really were like, I don't know if you fit the scheme. And I mean, look at the backs they got. Like they're pretty different from Yasin Willis.
Yeah, you look at the 3 starters they lost, right, in Gill, Cook, and Willis. Like, I just keep assuming that Gill will end up at, I don't know, a TCU, an SMU, a Texas Tech, whatever, go back home to Texas and get a pretty solid payday. The life and times of Jonte Cook, I can't even begin to explain, so he could go back to, who knows? It's going to be his 4th school in 13 months. I don't know what his deal is.
Did you see the video that I believe it was Olivia Schmidt from the women's basketball team put out?
No.
So I don't know how public this was. I think I have my story straight. I believe Layla and Jonte were kind of like an item. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
There was definitely, yes, I believe that's a factual statement.
Side tangent, sorry, but it's funny. In the video, they asked all of the players to compare their love life to like basketball. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was Layla who was like, yeah, I was the head coach and I found out my star player was talking to other schools during the season and we had a meeting and I told them what was up. And Jonte's just down bad.
Man.
I believe
Jonte's in the portal in real life and in sports. He's full on portaled right now.
Apologies for the tangent, but man, Jonte, that was a fun season, man. His uncle, his girlfriend, just everybody's bringing the drama.
Oh my goodness, man! Like people are like, "Oh, what a big loss to Jonte Cook." I'm like, "Was it really?" Like the guy he is just followed by drama everywhere he goes. Like I'm pretty sure, toss Darian Williams out there, Boobie Johnson or whatever. These freshmen, like you got talent at that spot. You got talent. Just I need something to happen. Like Portal Watch, come on! Like we need it. I need a little juice. Let's go. Give me something, Fran. Portal Watch. We're watching. I need something.
I'm refreshing McAllister. Nothing new.
Come on, Mike. I think Mike's recording a podcast right now. It would be a shame if he was missing on breaking news because of So, but Umari Hatcher withdrawn from the transfer portal. Like what even? Like what even is that? That's weird, right? Like he seemed he had lost his job like midway through the year before. Daryl Gill took all his playing time. Now Gill's gone, and Umari's like, "Aha, I'm back." Oh man,
Also, what is with this thing that's been going on Twitter with everybody acting like Raiola? Like it's not a funny fake bit. Like why would you even want him? Is it just for clicks? It's annoying. Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. The quarterback carousel at the higher levels is just bizarre. Like what? Anthony Calandria, formerly of Virginia, now formerly of UNLV, is going into Nebraska. It's just LSU's doing. I don't know what Lane's up to. He's trying to steal quarterbacks in the night from all the way across the country that recently signed a contract and are about to get their butts sued by their school. That'll be entertaining to watch. All while his assistants are half getting ready for a college football semifinal game that's either tomorrow or Friday. I forget which game's on which day. Man, it's crazy. I'm all in on Ole Miss winning the title now. I don't think they're actually going to do it, but I've decided to wholeheartedly root for Ole Miss because I find it hilarious how they're keeping churning without Lane right now.
I'm down. Hey, you know what? Here's a theory. Maybe Fran Brown is portaling so well.
Yeah.
All of these players are just young professionals still in the college football playoff waiting to make their announcement that they're going to Cuse, huh?
Maybe Fran's portaling so well that he's actually doing it like Baylor basketball right now, and they're actually in the NFL playoffs, Jordan. He's going to bring them back from the league. Like, Aronde Gadsden's going to be back on the team next year. He's going to get Aronde back from the Chargers. They're going to go for it. Yeah. John Harbaugh.
That's all I've got.
He's going to get John Harbaugh to coach the special teams. It's going to be fantastic. Who do I think is going to make to the championship game, Kev? What are the games? The games are Miami, Ole Miss. That's one of them. And Indiana is playing the other team that's left. Oregon. Indiana's playing Oregon.
Okay, I'll buy it.
Indiana-Oregon was a really good game in the regular season. Indiana won it in Eugene. I want to say that was in October-ish. Man, Miami's defense has been unbelievable recently. Miami's the better team in that game, I'd say, but like Cristobal's got to do something stupid. Like Cristobal's long overdue to do something stupid to cost him a game, and I think Ole Miss making the title game is hilarious. So I'm going to pick Ole Miss, even though I think Miami's a much better team. And I think Indiana's just steamrolling people. Indiana, Ole Miss. How about that?
Indiana, no matter how well they play, feels like a team that you would expect to just blow it at some point.
Yeah. But but Google their coach. He wins, Jordan. He wins.
That's true. Ole Miss, Miami. I feel like that's a game your head tells you Miami should win. Your heart says Ole Miss, which I think is how you picked. I'm going to go with my head and say Miami just plays good defense. So I'll go Miami and Indiana,
Miami's
I guess.
Defense
and then,
has been really good.
Yeah, then I don't know what happens. Ask again later.
Yeah.
But I'll go Miami, Indiana. Why not?
Ryan Mullen-Mello has 3 years left. Can we see him next year? Did you see the video Paul Harris put out? That was funny.
That he's coming back?
Yeah, like he had his Cuse uniform on and it's like, with all these rulings at NIL, I got 1 year left. And then like the end of the video, like his son's off camera. He's like, Dad, you're 40. He's like, but I can still go. He's like, no.
Him and Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, I can give you 6-1-1.
Yeah. Paul Harris, though, like just seeing him in his jersey, like he put on one of his old game worn jerseys. I think that dude, like that dude's gonna be jacked when he's 90. Like he's just permanently permanently looks like an unbelievable tight end. Shout out to Paul.
A lot of Miami in the chat. We have a forgiving fan base. Do we not remember how awful their fans are on Twitter and how they were just like running foo trick plays on Syracuse with the game basically over? And geez, we have a very, very nice group here in the YouTube chat.
Come on, we've been hating Miami for decades now. We can't, just because we didn't play them a lot, we can't forget the hatred for Miami. And realistically, Ole Miss making the title game is just, it would be so hilarious to me. It would be by far the funniest thing. Like a camera somewhere on Lane Kiffin, who's getting I like how Lane, somehow in all the contract moving on, Lane's getting his playoff bonuses paid for by LSU because Ole Miss is winning. So it's just like,
What a
hey,
play.
Lane made like $500,000 when they won the other day. It's unbelievable.
This is where we're at, Brian. It's portal season, and we don't even have that much to say about Syracuse because they're just not doing anything. It's a shame. It's a shame. I do think Juwan Johnson has potential, though. Just we've seen how LSU backups work, but I think he could be very dynamic. I think Weaver will be good. I don't think he's going to knock your socks off. I think Smith is a complete just, wild card. We'll take it. Why not?
Yeah, he's a guy.
I know nothing. I already forgot the new guy's name.
I'm all in on the new guy. I forgot the new guy's name, but he ran for a grand.
Ahmad.
Yeah, Ahmad Miller. Yeah, Jackson State
I was
Tiger.
thinking
He's from Memphis.
So, cool. I mean, fourth string LSU running back, injured South Carolina tight end, Miami, Ohio receiver who played well in some games, and Jackson State running back.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're done with running backs because that's cool. You got a couple. You needed some. You mentioned it, receiver, whatever.
Please get a D lineman. Please get a D
I think we just got to start going defense now because, I mean, you look at all the visits, and Mike McAllister has said it too. They've got so many guys committed, and they have like young offensive linemen. McAllister's not expecting them to add a ton of them, regardless of how bad the line was last year.
No, they have a ton of guys. There's a ton. They have a lot in volume.
You can have a lot of guys, but how did any of them work out? Castillo better teach him how to
coach it up.
He's got to coach up. I'd like to see tomorrow like a couple of defensive guys at least, right? And I know tomorrow's asking a lot, but it's got to hurry up because the problem with the portal is all the dudes who are good and are worth pulling out as difference makers, those are the guys that enter day one and they're going to enter before it's even legal. Those guys don't really pop up at the end, and teams are already in talks with those guys. So I'm hoping it's just some contract negotiation stuff, and these guys are kind of locked in. Their agents are holding out and trying to get extra money. I don't know.
Or what you said earlier, that Fran is just waiting to raid the playoff teams. He's waiting around to raid them when their season's over. All right. Well, we'll see next week. What day's basketball next week? Is our show Thursday next week? I think it might be Thursday next week. Let's see. I've got the calendar here somewhere. Where's the calendar? Calendar next week. No, show's Wednesday next week. Okay, so we'll be back here next Wednesday. The portal will only be open for entrance for a couple more days by next Wednesday, so we should have a lot more answers by then. Join me tomorrow morning at 11 live in the 315. The aforementioned Mike McAllister expected to join the show. We'll see if Mike can shed some light on any of this or defensive players to keep an eye on. And happy birthday to you, my friend. Enjoy your last year starting with a 2.
Thank you.
And your
whipping cream. I'm so glad that was gone. I opened a new container of it too, just like this was just bought, opened it, tore the little thing out, the seal, just for the bit, all for a 4.5 and a Kier soiree comp.
And then now later this week you're gonna want whipped cream for something, and you're out. You're just fresh out. All right, there we go. Another edition of our TPS Report. I'm back with you tomorrow morning at 11 live here in the 315. Mike McAllister, our guest. We'll talk portal. No wrong answers, getting you ready for Syracuse and Pittsburgh, your calls and all that good stuff. Jordan and I will be back here next Wednesday night. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.